Good evening, mortals. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hello, Aki, Binch, and everyone is ruining the first 5 minutes of my recording.
Hello.
Nice.
Yes.
Love that. Love that. Love you. We're doing Exalted tonight, as you can see by my shiny head. I'm joined by some very fun and cool people, and also Aki.
Oh,
Roasted.
Oh,
careful, you're playing with fire there, my dude.
This
know
is
who's being
especially
buried in the Zen
stupid for
garden.
me. Aki is usually my healer. Aki literally has life and death, has control of life and death over me. So I'm smart and make good decisions, is what I'm saying. How's everyone doing tonight?
pretty good.
I should probably introduce you guys in case someone doesn't know you somehow, even though you're wildly famous streamers at this point. So I'm joined, of course, by Aki, mod extraordinaire, a very impressive person, who is playing Mercy, who is also a very impressive person.
Hello.
Hello, Aki. Despite what I said earlier, I actually love you a lot.
I know, and I appreciate that. And you.
Aw, thanks, buddy. Gay. I'm also joined by my good friend Sam, who will be playing Joaquin today.
Hello.
Hello. Joined by Skull, the Agent of Chaos, who will be playing James today.
As always, embrace the chaos, folks. Hello, spiders.
The pattern spiders love it when you address them directly. I'm joined by my good friend Sue Crown, fellow streamer, who will be playing Darius.
Hello, friends.
Hello. You're very good and cool. I'm also joined by the second horniest person I know, Witch, who will be playing Ben.
Second? Only second?
Yeah.
Also, sup, bitches.
Second, because I know I've met myself, so. Anyway. Unfortunately, yeah, the abuse is regular, and I'm pretty tired of it. Anyway, hello, everyone. T, Lavana, Nick, all you guys are beautiful, and I love you. Welcome. I was about to say hi to you again, Scald. See how short my attention span is? Do you guys think I'm good to run a game? I don't know about that.
Did you know that you gave us like $3 billion last game?
I super don't care.
No.
Don't you already have
To
that?
give you an idea of what kind of a game Exalted is, you guys were like, can I be a billionaire at character creation? And I'm like, sure, I don't give a fuck. One of you is like, I want a magic taser that doesn't kill humans, but instantly incapacitates them. And I'm like, yeah, right.
Gordon's like that.
I just want magic.
Well, magic doesn't exist, so eat my farts. You can tell magic is quite serious and Exalted because I'm immediately kiboshing it. Magic taser? Fine. Billions of dollars? Fine. One magic wand? No. Anyway.
Hey, the tasers aren't magic.
That is a magic taser.
Fine.
The fact that it can never be lethal is that's
It's
a magic
computerized.
taser.
I've got, it's
it's
home
computerized.
bullshit.
Oh, well, fuck me then. What? We should really tell the police about that. Maybe they'll be interested.
It's a smart taser.
It's Hollywood bullshit. Therefore magic.
Yeah. It's like every time someone interacts with a security system in tabletop games, it gives me a brain aneurysm, and I just let it happen.
Good to know.
Yeah. When someone's like, "Hey, can I just hack into the camera system and then like turn it and zoom it off this random computer in an office?" I'm like, "Yes, you can. Sure. Why
Zoom
not?"
in on that license plate. Now zoom in on the screw on the license plate.
We got its reflection.
Enhance.
Fucking nailed him. That hurts me deeply inside. Anyway, Lavana says, "Hey Google, taste this asshole."
Alexa.
Oh fuck. Siri, fucking incapacitate this criminal, please. Oh my god.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
No, it'd be something like ordering 10 pizza, cheese. What? No, that's not what I want. Ordering 20 pizza, cheese. Cancel order. I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Anyway, yeah. So we're playing Exalted tonight. Did you guys hear? We're
No.
joined by wonderful pattern spiders who will not be twisting your fate in horrible ways, I'm sure.
Well, I know that's bullshit.
They can't hear me right now, pattern spiders, but you can. So let's talk about tonight. So I was gonna run a different scene tonight, but you guys wanted to do a soiree. Except Darius, who wanted to nuke a random country. Or sorry, a random country.
Yay.
I'll make my choice on which one based off of who comes to the gala.
Alright, noted.
Yes.
The
Let's
leaders
give the
of several
paranoid guy access to the nukes.
the leaders of several major countries show up. You nuke all of them. Shocked, being like, well, fucking, you shouldn't have come. I don't know. You reminded me that you exist.
I'm uncomfortable with this.
With
Even in
genocide?
jest.
Get the fuck out of here, coward.
Like,
Just
They're
throw
magic
a pair. Oh yeah, they're magic nukes, never lethal.
oh, no. I mean, like,
It destroys everything but the people.
Yeah.
It utterly devastates the landscape and poisons the land for years to come, unless you're a thinking human person, in which case you're fine.
that still would have some seriously long-reaching consequences for the
Yep.
people.
At least they're alive.
That is correct. Yeah,
For
that would
now,
have some long-term
which-
consequences, but you'd
Our
be
deal
fine
was
with
no
it, right?
killing.
Yeah, there's no killing. What are you complaining about? Sounds fine to me.
Our deal was fuzzy on kneecaps.
Unlike Scald, who's hard on kneecaps.
I got that reference.
Don't king shame me.
Oh god. Should we play some Exalted, guys?
Yes.
So,
Please.
it has been a month since our last session. In that time, the Solar Squad has moved to a more remote location further up island. What else has happened here, guys? Bunch of stuff. Several of you became lawyers. 2 of you, rather. Mercy and Ben did nothing very, very loudly, from what I understand.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you repeated that several times, very specifically, which means
Well,
that
it came up
did-
multiple times.
Yeah, well, nothing happened. I get it. Yeah, it's like when I
Exactly.
say I'm not a vampire, you can just trust me because I keep saying it. I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, totally
Mhm.
innocent.
There was no panic.
No gay panic.
No
Sure.
satanic panic.
Oh, satanic panic's my favorite. It's the best color. What am I missing, guys? Probably quite a lot. There's a lot of blue booking, and I didn't have. A ton
Oh,
of
they
time to read.
celebrated Chinese New Year together
Yeah.
and
to
nothing
make
else
Ben
happened.
happy.
Also, almost everybody, I think, had a press appearance or more.
That's true, actually. I was reading through Mercy's a little bit, but I didn't finish it because I suck.
Because
Um,
it literally took me 2 hours to write.
It also, in my defense, I didn't get a break at work today.
Yeah,
Stop.
for you.
Yeah, well, it's fine. It wasn't too busy, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Uh,
think everybody but James and Darius are public now.
Okay.
Yes.
So in that month, I assume you guys have been putting out, we'll call it advertisements for this gala, and due to your ceaseless work and ability to perfectly manipulate the media cycle, this soiree has turned into like a who's who of people in power. There are politicians who are going to be there, business leaders, the people you invited who are going to be way out of their element, as well as a smattering of other local and not so local people who've managed to get a ticket.
Sounds about right.
What price did you set the ticket at?
That is a very good question. And I'm sure I would have a very reasonable answer for that if I knew.
Oh.
1 second.
Usually the way these things work is you have to buy dinner and the plate costs a certain amount, like several $1,000s.
Yeah, let's set it around, call it 1,500.
Okay.
That's
So
a
the place
lot.
is packed. That's not a lot in these circles.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, that's almost nothing. So the place is going to be packed. There's also quite a lot of security here, provided by the RCMP. It's their job, you see, to protect certain important politicians in this country.
Excellent. That'll help.
Did the agent get my invitation?
He did, and he said that he would attend.
Eh.
Oh, yay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Am I missing anything, guys? I think that's a pretty good recap of what's going to be happening here.
I think that's about it.
Did we actually all move up to Badger Lake, or did we like just start
Right,
setting
Badger
it up?
Lake is what it's called.
Up to you guys. James is mostly set up there already.
I know Ben was fixing the holes he made in the condo before moving up there, so I don't know.
Oh, a few things that have changed in the world over the past month that I should mention.
Yes, please.
Uh,
Especially since Joe is watching social media for, well, everything to do with the supernatural.
right. And one of you, I believe, went looking for magic and the supernatural.
Also, well, Joe and I think somebody else.
I had people looking into it, yeah.
As
Okay.
did I.
So you guys find a ton of stuff, just a huge amount of evidence of the supernatural, such as crystal healing, tarot, all kinds of stuff that you would find here on Earth.
Does
Nope.
any of it work?
Not that you can tell. What did you expect? Anyway, you do find like stories of weird goings on, but they're of dubious repute, and some of them seem like almost formulaic, like oh, there's a vampire stalking the woods, or man attacked by bat child. There's a lot of conspiracy nonsense out there, and a lot of like stories from people who may have been drunk at the time, but there's no hard evidence of any of it.
Well, that's
Vampires are fine, Lavana.
unsurprising, to be honest.
Yeah, it's about what you'd expect to find. Having your superpowers does not make the internet a more reliable news source.
Yeah.
At any rate,
You were I had interrupted you actually. My apologies. You were saying that some things have happened in the past month in the world.
yeah, Korea reunified. It is now known as simply Korea. It's in talks with nations around the world, specifically mostly Western nations, in order to establish closer alliances, as they now directly border China, who is super not happy about this.
What is the governance structure of this Korea?
It's currently in flux. So it's using South Korea's parliamentary system, but it now includes provinces in North Korea with representatives from there. However, they are mostly basically there's a massive refugee crisis going on that they're trying to handle, and their society is handling it, I'd say decently, as well as to be expected if everyone in charge were getting along. So it's still a huge problem, and countries around the world are sending aid and whatnot. Especially those same Western nations who are pretty excited that they get more power in the area, basically. It's a big deal, actually. And there's a society that's set up in town to accept North Korean refugees who have started to appear around town.
And to be clear, they're leaving because of the having previously
they're
not been
allowed.
allowed to leave, but they didn't want to be there.
Yeah, North Korea has not, in a month, changed into a paradise or anything like that.
No.
It's still a place facing massive starvation, and it's not a good place to live. But it's doing a lot better than it was. Kim Jong-un has retired. Just
There is no
left.
supreme leader. It's
There's no
just
supreme
like
leader.
there are provinces, and they're wow. Okay.
As a quirk of fate, because of his efforts in the reunification and him stepping down after the talks had completed, the Kims are seen as heroes and legends. So the supreme leader has taken on almost deific status, and he's well loved and respected by most of the people of North Korea, who, much to the surprise of everyone else, don't appreciate when people insult him.
Well, he already had a bit of a god complex over there, so that's pretty normal.
Now it's much worse. Much
Oh.
worse.
Kim Jong Un
Ooh,
as a
that's a good question.
sidereal
I don't know. I'd
confirmed.
have to look into it.
God damn it.
You guys, you'll have noticed Joe following that story very closely, which is odd because he's a Spaniard who grew up in the States.
Yeah.
But he's like very interested in the situation.
Some other changes in the world. Outside the condo, there is now daily a crowd of people who stand just off the condo property, literally surrounding the building, who come there every day to pray.
Yep, Ben's definitely moving out at that point.
Once we move out, I'm gonna see if I can get the Mercy actress in some of the adult films to move in there.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Rent it out.
She'll, as long as you pay well, she'll take the job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay.
That's hilarious.
I'm sorry. What happens if Joe has gone down to like talk to the people who are praying there?
They get extremely excited and touchy. These people are fanatics who believe that the Zenith, and by association the Circle, are a new manifestation of God. And they're certain of this based on the evidence. Mercy has continued to do walkabouts, which means these people have been watching and recording Mercy doing things that should not be possible, being a prophet. And because of that, the cult of the Zenith has grown to the point where the police have permanently blocked off access to that area, like for vehicles, and worldwide there are chapters popping up. So, for example, the Egyptian chapter, which now has its own large temple complex, and commands...
In a month?
Yes, in a month.
I'm not surprised.
It spread like wildfire. Because name another religion that has living proof of divinity. There are tons of people in the real world who would be ecstatic over this. So anyway,
Joe's gonna actually ask the others for consent for him to represent, even in any way, them as he kind of like goes and visits with them, and essentially his goal is to tell them we're still human and we're still figuring this out. And even if they're not listening, even if they just kind of like put their own opinions on that. He wants to go and tell them that, and he wants to at least get to know who these people are. Does anybody in the circle object to that?
Mercy wouldn't object, but would stress that maybe it might be a good idea to turn whatever fervorous faith this is to helping the local communities.
Joe's gonna like take some notes from what Zenith, what Mercy would prefer, and like he asks her for some flyers for the Do Better Foundation. It's the foundation, right?
At this point, it's more of the Do Better Corporation.
Oh yeah, okay. The Do Better charitable corporation and yeah, okay.
So
Exactly.
It's a nonprofit.
on that note, the Do Better Corporation, supported by they call themselves the Children of the Sun, but basically the cult of Zenith, now has enough staff and wealth that they're seriously fixing major problems around. Right now, just around Canada, but there's obviously talks about spreading worldwide.
Have we gotten fresh water to the reserves, for instance?
In this province, yes. In BC,
Okay.
you have. In others, there's issues of provincial governments not really appreciating you stepping in and providing a service they're supposed to be providing. Especially the neighbor to BC. So you've run into some legal trouble there. For the BC government, they see it basically as a huge win in their books. They don't have to pay for something, and they get to reap the reward. So they're stoked.
Yeah.
You guys field pretty regular phone calls from members of the House of Representatives in BC who are looking for updates on what you guys are planning to do and asking if they could help you in any way. It's pretty clearly political maneuvering to try and get their name put on some of the stuff that you're doing, but it is real help. They are trying to make your lives a little easier for these sorts of things. There are also several people calling, Mercy especially, but not Joe, actually. There are some people who are calling for Joe to run for office, but anyone with any sense knows that he can't. But Mercy and Ben are both being told that they should run for office. Mercy much louder. Ben is usually told, online. But Ben is very charismatic, so that's what really matters.
How popular has he gotten from just that one?
So Ben is a massive sex symbol, pretty much worldwide. Ben has been asked to appear in magazines and in TV interviews. People want to know what his workout routine is. They want to know, what kind of makeup he uses. Basically, Ben has been made into an object of desire, and the whole world wants to know how they also become Ben.
It's funny. I put together like the basic questions that Ben is likely to be asked, and it was exactly that verbatim. Like, what martial art do you practice? What is your philosophy around that? And it was like, how did you get your powers?
And how are you so goddamn attractive?
Done.
Crossed out.
I love that, Nick.
And that was crossed out and replaced with, were you this, what was it? What was it? Anyway, continue.
Oh, yeah, I mean, do you have this degree of natural appeal before you exalted?
Yes, did you have this degree of natural appeal before you exalted?
Oh, God. Ben is super uncomfortable with the whole sex symbol thing.
Ben receives hundreds of letters daily from men and women who are desperate to get to know Ben better. Do you read any of them, Ben?
Some of them, yeah.
Some of the names reoccur.
Of course.
Some of them are decidedly terrifying. People who clearly think they have a relationship with Ben that you've never met. A few of them must be in the crowd of people who come to pray because they talk about what you do day to day.
Darius!
Aside from that, well, let me think. What else? I feel like there's another thing that I'm missing.
He's gonna add
Um,
all of these letters to his number collection.
the Steel
that he'd already
Centipede gang
gathered.
is pretty much pulled out of Victoria entirely.
Sorry, who has?
The Steel Centipede gang.
Uh-huh.
So after dozens and dozens and dozens of their members straight up quit being criminals and turned themselves in, they decided it was no longer worth their time to invest in the area, and they have left. So
Good.
all in all, the city is a much better place to live for a lot of reasons. For one, homelessness is almost gone. For two, there's very, very little crime because there's a literal superhuman walking around saying, "Hey, don't do crime." There's a lot of politicians kind of in an arms race to use your charity's efforts to make themselves look better, which means there's a lot of charity going on. Things are improving and it's radiating out from the city. It's giving people quite a bit of hope, actually.
That's good.
Yeah.
Ben's gonna hide in his room for a while.
Joe's gonna do
that
the
does
exact opposite.
not
He's
help.
going to be. Joe's gonna be out and about as much as possible. Actually, here's something that he's very distinctly doing. He's anytime he sees somebody with so he has medicine 3 and intelligence 5. Tell me if I need to roll any of this, but anytime he sees somebody with COVID or COVID-like symptoms, he might even be carrying around a little thermometer, like one of the infrared thermometers, and politely asking people if he can take their temperature. And anytime in this crowd of people who are making this pilgrimage, that he sees somebody with COVID or COVID-like symptoms, he's going to get permission to place a hand on them. He's going to realign something in the. He's not sure how it works, but he knows that it works, and he's going to tell them to go home and rest for a day. And it's going to be ailment rectifying method.
So
Yeah.
you're-
Okay. Great. So after about 2 weeks of doing this, you are one of the people that you do that to is a doctor, faithful doctor, but a doctor.
Yes.
And within 3 days, they come back asking exactly what you did.
Okay. Joe's going to try and narrow it down and figure it out. But does it more or less it's like
You
I
just
realigned.
know- you just know what needs to be done to make someone feel better. I know you know this, but for
Yeah.
the crowd,
Yes.
charms are not like magic spells or abilities. They're just you do the things that you think will work. And you're right, because you're a solar exalted, you can't possibly fail. They're not magic powers. They're just you are an exceptional, physician or
I therefore explain the methods that I used to get somebody such an immune boost in the space of an hour, because I think it's an hour-long thing.
Okay. He takes what you taught him, and while he obviously can't manipulate essence, he goes off and starts working on a method of healing based on your practices. Before long, you're approached by a pharmaceutical giant. Specifically, a lawyer.
Yes. Of the lawyer of a large pharmaceutical company. Okay.
But
Yeah.
since you haven't contravened any of their copyrights or anything, they come to you with a big old check and say, "Hey, how about you sell us the rights to this method of medicine that you've perfected, and we'll give you this big old check."
Joe thanks them for their time. Says he'll consider it, and then promptly makes the patent public.
Great.
Fuck you, pharma.
Anyway, I think that's it for major things that have happened over the last month. Basically, your lives have become insanely busy. Mercy, before the month is over, your walkabouts are more like meet and greets with crowds of people. You're seen as the leader of the circle, and since you were the first one out and the one who seems to know the most about it, Everyone wants your attention all the time. Whenever you go on walkabouts, you have a police escort.
Okay.
Did you just say gay?
No, I said okay, except it didn't come through.
Oh, okay. I just heard gay.
No, you gave us a month of blue booking. I'm not insulting you this week.
Damn straight you're not.
It's very hard, I'll have you know.
It's not, actually. It's really easy not to insult me. You just can't stop yourself. I can hear the insults formulating in your mind. I can feel the torment.
No.
Alright. Anyway, there's quite a lot going on, but it's kind of culminated tonight in a gala. That gala is being called... Oops, wrong thing. One sec. The Brighter Future Society Gala. Like I said, it's a real who's who of everyone who matters, basically, as well as a smattering of local people and businesses, that sort of thing. People generally have bought their way in. There's a few things like there's Young Leader Society. There's who you guys, as part of your promotion, gave a bunch of tickets to. There's obviously free tables put aside for the Do Better Corporation, which after today will be the Brighter Society, the Brighter Future Society Corporation. Yeah. Politicians who are mostly paying to get in, to be honest, but you get the feeling you know where that money's coming from. What else? There's a few police officers there who you've invited. Also, 2 very proud parents, extremely proud. One reporter in way over her head. There's a monk who seems to be handling this just fine.
Oh no.
And yeah. And a whole host of serving staff.
Oh,
The serving staff
did important people
eightfold
from
pastoring.
Harvard and Spain and the
Yes.
University of Malaga in Spain also come? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
How-
surprised.
How have they been doing now that one of their alumnus is a demigod?
They've been weirdly distant. So they have mostly been acknowledging that Joaquin went to their schools, but they have not been approaching and getting into bed, so to speak, with him. They seem to be a lot more cautious about this than most of the others are.
Almost like they've considered very carefully and realized that they don't actually know what our goals are gonna be in the near or far future, and they are hesitant to be immediately associated with us until we state that.
Pretty much, yeah. Not even that. Just scandal is scandal, right? It's only been a month. They are
What if
reasonably
things pop up?
concerned about ruining the reputation of their schools, which is something that is critical to a university, because they got into bed with someone who was fancy. What are you
I have a
guys
question.
typing? Yeah.
The monk you mentioned, is it who I think it is?
Yeah, it's your brother.
Okay, you should probably clarify that this monk does look a lot like Ben, because they are identical twins.
Yep. Lots of people have been approaching him all night so far, and asking for various favors, both couth and uncouth, which he has good-naturedly laughed about and explained that he's not you.
Well, he is bald, so there should definitely be a
That's
notable
not,
difference.
If he's an identical twin, it's not different. Are you saying bald people are gross?
Yes. People are disgusting.
Wow. Fuck
Wow.
you. Very much. Bald people are gorgeous. I'll have you know that they can get married. I know because I know a bald guy who got married.
Is it you?
He wasn't bald when he got married.
Oh no.
That mistake happened later. Hey.
No.
Happy
No,
Valentine's
I guess you
Day,
got a
wife.
point. I'm just making sure people aren't like mistaking him for Ben.
Oh, they are. Lots.
But they can tell. How? Ben has lots of hair. Guy has no hair.
They're just
if
like,
your
oh,
only thing is a thing that people sometimes shave off exists on one person but not the other, I have bad news for you.
People are dumb.
I mean,
Yes, they are. Especially people who are trying to brown nose.
And
Uh-huh.
just to be clear, if you had no idea somebody had a twin, and you saw that twin, you're gonna be fooled 9 times out of 10.
It's a good point.
Yeah, it like the
That's a
thing
good
is
point.
that like who else could this possibly be, if you haven't heard that they have a twin? It's it's
Alright.
surprisingly human actually.
All right, I just
We'll
wanted
speak
to
from experience.
clarify.
Here's my experience. IRL anecdote, but really short. My dad has a twin who's identical, or not a twin, but a brother who's basically identical. I mistook them for each other when I was very young, and so did a bunch of other people.
Aw.
And there's video
Yeah.
of me staring at my uncle, staring at my dad while in my uncle's arms at the age of like 2, pointing and being like, "What?"
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Not much,
Yeah.
Blackthorn. Just talked about world events.
So,
So, what we're gonna do? We're gonna start the gala with it kind of in full swing. You guys have not been introduced yet, per your instruction, or not really your instructions, but the people who are actually running the event. They want you to come in as you make a speech, and then you'll mingle with the guests. So the speech has already been prepared, written for you, and then proofread by Joaquin. And it's basically just a very like, thank you all for coming and the support. We're making the Brighter Future Society a reality. You know, we've cleaned up, or we've helped to clean up with the support of local government and businesses in the city, and we are looking to expand country and worldwide. And then a whole bunch of thanks to specific people. Congratulations to the youth group. Congratulations to the biggest charity to work with you on some of the things that you've been doing. You know, land acknowledgement, that sort of thing.
Ben's
Speech
gonna look
stuff.
super nervous.
You're gonna be super nervous, but Ben is a charismatic motherfucker that would never be
He
caught
is.
looking nervous. And even when he does, it's endearing.
It's an endearing awkwardness.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are gonna start basically after the end of that speech, unless someone has a speech written, which I'm guessing you don't.
James would make sure to add in points about how, if we're gonna take this further, we need the support of you all, gesturing to the crowd, as well as anyone you can get our message out to.
Yeah.
Spread it across the world. Let's make the world a better place.
Are you
We-
out as a member of the circle?
I'm going to do this as one of the top people in the Brighter Future Society.
Okay, fair enough. I will note, by the way, the government of Canada and probably some others know who the Circle is. Thanks to the work of one specific RCMP agent, it's known there are 5 of them. It's known that these 5 are probably it, and yeah, there are some people who know about the night and the eclipse.
I think Joe would have recommended that unless anybody has a specific objection, everybody making a public appearance of some kind is the thing to do right now. Hiding it just...
The eclipse and the night are not out in public from what I understand, and that's fine. Like, you guys
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have to publicize yourself. If you don't, basically people are just theory crafting. But after a month, people are no longer assuming that you're terrorists or aliens or anything like that. They're genuinely trying to figure out how you're helping people. They assume you are, but they don't know how. At any rate, so we're going to start just after that speech is finishing, and we're going to just... So the way I imagine this happening, you guys get to mingle with whoever you decide you want to mingle with, and I will play out some NPCs. I've got a few things prepped for what I want to do with the night, but I'm going to be sprinkling those in kind of, wherever I feel is appropriate.
All right.
So, you're in a large exhibition room with tables done up around the place. You've just finished giving your speech, and with the lighting now at an appropriate level for eating, people are being served their $1,500 steak dinners that are definitely not worth $1,500. All the money going to charity, of course. There are a few people. There's two tables. There's one for the circle plus associated people, which is kind of just being called the Brighter Future Society table. There's a table for people who like either didn't buy their way in using the charity or aren't I don't know, how would you say it, like the people who didn't get in traditionally. So there's a bunch of teenagers there who look very, very, very fucking out of place. That's also where the Prime Minister is chosen to sit, with the Young Leaders Society. So there's quite a few security around that area. Well, RCMP anyway. And yes, that is what they're calling the charity now, Blackthorn. It's no longer Do Better.
Ben waves at the Prime Minister.
He smiles and waves back. He actually he smiles, waves back, and then raises a glass to Ben.
Yeah, cheers. I guess Ben has a glass in his hand or something.
Probably, yeah.
Probably full of water.
Yes, Lavana. Yes, this is a high priority schmoozing event. There are other leaders of some other countries as well. There's a American president who is here, interested in what's going. Or not American president, but one of his aides is here. There's anyone you guys want, really. Like, you've been exalted working in this country for a fucking month. There's also outside a huge throng of people
Oh boy.
that are trying to get in. Tickets sold out immediately. And people, especially members of the cult, are upset they're not allowed in. The police are holding them back, but their numbers are growing as time goes on.
Yeah, Ben's going to avoid that and go say hi to his brother.
Okay.
I don't know what everyone else is doing.
He's standing in a group of some other local business folk and various smaller kind of personalities, and he just finished telling a joke that makes everyone chuckle politely. He looks over and sees you and says, "Ah, the man of the hour."
Well, one of them. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderfully.
I wasn't sure you were actually going to show up.
Of course. I love you. I wouldn't miss this.
Thanks, man. Gives him a hug.
He hugs back and says, "Oh, well, it's not a problem. It's a simple night, and I'm quite enjoying myself."
That's good. Sometimes you just need to loosen up.
He says, "Well, I'm not necessarily loosened up, but I haven't been enjoying the company. Have you met Yinwo?"
No.
He
No.
gestures to a very, very attractive Chinese woman.
Nice to meet you.
She bows a little
Kind
bit
of
and says,
bows.
"Nice to meet you as well." You are Ben, yes?
Yes. I go by Dawn around here, though.
Did
Yeah.
you reveal to the public that you were Ben?
No.
Okay, she would have called you Dawn. My bad.
All right. All right. So yes, I'm the Dawn.
She says, the Dawn. Why are you called that?
Honestly, I'm
Pretty much
not
Blackthorn is a
sure. It
monk.
was the title chosen for me.
Ah, yes, by the sun.
Yeah.
I understand. That's very fascinating.
I think so.
Do you hear the sun speak?
Oh no, that's kind of the Zenith's thing.
I see. Yes.
Super nice.
Her, and she points over to Mercy.
Yeah.
Excellent. Is it true that you make sunlight come from your body?
Sort of. I guess.
That is fascinating. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. So what do you do for a living?
Oh, I run an import business.
Ah.
We
Cool.
bring in mostly herbal remedies, but all kinds of things from my homeland.
Yeah, where are you from?
I'm from China.
Ah, like our Sifu.
She nods. Your brother and I were discussing, actually, some stories that your Sifu used to tell.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Traz. Luano.
At this point, Ben just kind of awkwardly goes quiet.
Yeah,
He doesn't know what to talk about.
She immediately picks up on the awkward quietness and says, well, I must be going and speaking with some others. I have some business to discuss tonight. Thank you for your hospitality. And she bows a little deeper and walks off.
Ben bows back. Have a good evening.
Pretty much immediately, everyone else scatters as well, and you're left with your brother. No Blackthorn.
I thought it was going to be difficult to be a wallflower.
Everyone here is... Look around you. This is not a high school. These people are mostly paid to be people. Personable.
Yeah.
Charismatic. It's easy to make friends here. Perhaps difficult to make true friends, but still. It's pleasant in the moment.
Yeah, I guess.
Why not simply enjoy that pleasantness and live in the moment?
Yeah, but how am I supposed to live in the moment when I don't really know how? You know, I'm not
He
used to
breathes
having
in deeply
friends.
and breathes out in a very practiced manner, and he says, "Look around you. Who do you see here?"
A lot of rich people.
He nods. Yes. And why are they here?
Because they're rich and wanted to donate to the charity.
Yes, they're here to support a charity. Is that not a good thing? Even if their motives are perhaps impure, the fact of the matter is, when this is all said and done, your charity will have more to do good with.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there. Just, how am I supposed to introduce myself? Like, hey, I'm the Dawn. Nice to meet you. That actually sounds
Sure.
kind of easy.
Why not? You can even say, "Hello, I am Ben. Nice to meet you."
I don't know if I want my actual name to come out.
Well, in that case, then maybe not "Hello, I am Ben. Nice to meet you," but "Hello, I'm the Dawn. It's nice to meet you. Do you enjoy Triceratops or Stegosaurus?"
You know I'm a Triceratops guy.
I'm sure you
I
are.
don't know.
You, like the Triceratops, are very hard-headed. And he smiles.
Ben just kind of He gives him an amused glare.
Relax, brother. People are here to celebrate you and your friends, but you as well.
Yeah.
And he looks
Friends.
around and kind of like leans over conspiratorially to you. And no small number of them have asked me if there's anything particular that could win your affections.
What? Who's saying that?
He looks around the room and starts pointing at like men and women all around the room. Some of them notice and smile coyly and wave at you.
Oh, goodness.
You are very popular, brother.
Yeah, apparently.
Truth be told, I've had no small number of offers myself. Some people seem to think that to get to you, they could go through me. Unfortunately for them, I am a monk.
Yeah.
Hello, if I wasn't.
You could still land a dame while being a monk.
You could, but I have responsibilities that I must take care of.
Yeah.
You should perhaps go see your friends. They are looking almost as overwhelmed as you are.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how Mercy was feeling about all this. I should go check on her.
Mercy, what are you up to?
I think she's...
Mercy would have been like sitting at the table. Would have very briefly met with her parents just to kind of at least put some just to say hi, but like knowing that she's also got responsibilities tonight. And
So
you know what? No. Mercy goes and sees the agent.
Okay, Aged Donahue is sitting at the table that has been assigned to him, enjoying his meal and like looking around. Earlier, he was chatting with some of the other RCMP officers.
I want to pull a Darius and put a coffee in front of him.
Okay, he looks over and says, "Oh, I have a drink, thank you."
And I've just given you one.
I'm not used to these things. Is this like, am I supposed to? Thank you. I appreciate the gesture, but is this like a test or something?
No, not at all. It's simply one good turn for another, I suppose. Gesture of goodwill.
Why? Honestly, I was surprised to get this invite. I arrested you guys.
Yeah, you were a bit of a bastard.
Yeah, that does sound like me. Turns out I was wrong. You guys have done some real good here. The only complaint I have is they're talking about cutting police budgets.
Aki wants to say things, but Aki
fucking
is
good!
not.
Defund you motherfuckers!
I don't know if you saw in the memes channel, but it's like, I would like to start the speech off by saying, "A cab." No. Socialized charm in real life. Come on.
Exactly.
I mean,
fucking.
Certainly, it is a good thing
huge
for the
waste of
city
money.
that you are all.
He nods and says, "Of course, of course." You know, any good cop will tell you that their dream is that they don't need to do their job anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's weird that the talk about cutting the police budget is more coming from the side of, well, we just don't need as much than the usual, well, if we cut back a little, we can put a little more money in our pocket. And then he immediately looks around the room because he realized he's in a room full of politicians who do that sort of thing. And then he goes, between you and me, eh?
I did have. I know you're quite busy up in Nanaimo, was it?
Yeah.
but I had hoped to meet with you at least over coffee at some time. I have a proposition.
Oh. He goes, "Oh, that's the coffee. Do you want to talk now, or?"
No.
All right, then. I get it. You're busy. Thank you for the invite and the $1,500 steak.
Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you.
And Mercy goes off to schmooze.
Cool. So, as you turn around and are about to leave, Ben walks up to you.
Hey,
Hey,
Zenith.
Dawn.
How are you enjoying the party?
It's a party with a lot of people here that definitely paid to get in and simply to be here.
Oh,
Hey, at least the money's going to a good cause, right?
Hey, Chad.
Agreed.
That lady I just introduced.
We should
How are
probably
you?
sit down and eat ourselves soon.
Probably.
Yin Wool.
How are you?
You were about to say something.
She's the leader of the Steel Centipedes.
I was
gang.
asking you how you were.
Oh,
know
I-
these aren't your kinds of events.
She's also a
I'm
Quajan.
fine. Just nice chat with my brother. Found out there's a
So that's fun.
lot of people around
Yeah,
here
a
really
vampire.
interested in getting in my pants. It's
Hmm.
a little uncomfortable.
That's fair.
What's Joaquin doing?
Joaquin is he's sitting at the table, focused
Okay.
very much on the food in front of him, but eating it at a very slow pace.
Okay.
There's at this point probably a revolving door of people just kind of approaching,
Yep. Lots
looking
of
to
people.
see.
Lots of people want to know what exactly the cult, how the cult is associated with the circle.
Sorry, how the cult?
Yeah.
ones-
so they
the ones
call
I've been
it,
seen
they
walking
call it
amongst.
the Children of Sun,
Yeah.
the Children of the Sun. But several of them comment that there is a huge crowd of them outside, and in their experience, these sorts of crowds turn out nasty, and they want to know what your association is with them.
Oh, what? Okay, so Joe, having spent a fair bit of this month, he'll have been away for a little while and then come back, but a fair bit of this month actually like walking around amongst them.
Exactly, which is why people are approaching you.
Yeah. What does he know about their actual, like, what are the main
The main tenets
To-
of their faith.
and that, and also what are the main like groups, because such an organization is a strong word for it.
It is.
Such an organization always has people who believe in one thing and then people who believe in another, subject to the same common
So
tenets.
there's a lot of debate as to the actual divinity of the circle.
Yeah.
Especially, Mercy is accepted by and large as being actually divine, or at least a prophet.
Yeah.
The rest of the circle kind of it's less cut and dry. You're seen as kind of like a Mercy being Zeus and everyone else being the gods of Olympus.
Hmm.
So possibly divine, but definitely somehow below Mercy. Probably because she was the one who first appeared, and also made the cult.
Yeah.
You, Mercy, and Ben all receive some motes every day from prayer. It's not much because it's people praying at random, and there's no setup behind it. It's just people praying when they feel like it. But you've been receiving some motes from it, so it's clear that they believe somehow that you either are or speak for the divine. The people who were originally in Egypt are seen as kind of like the first disciples, but it's not a special privileged status aside from the fact that people tend to look to them for leadership. The dig site master turned into a high priest, and he is leading He is leading the charge, so to speak, worldwide. He makes appearances in public, and he's actually very circumspect about what he says and does. It's clear that he's had some time to process, and he's now being very, very careful how he represents the church or cult, and by extension the circle. But there's a lot of people who took up the faith kind of just of their own will. So there's lots of variations and splinter groups, and it's a very disparate society. That basically, the farther away you get from the Exalts or the original disciples, the more weird and specific things tend to get.
So a month hasn't been long enough for main, I guess.
No, there's
agendas.
no main ideologies.
No, nor is there a unifying agenda aside from maybe the following of the Do Better campaign.
Yeah, so the Do Better campaign is seen as kind of a good framework to go off of. So there's a lot of charity work that gets done by the main parts of the cult. But the details are really scattered. Some people are very puritanical in how they view things. Some people are very liberal in how they view things. Basically, people have put their own spin on whatever is said. So you get what you get. You guys have not taken the reins in leading them, and so they have filled in the gaps.
All right. Joe's gonna.
Yeah,
Joe
that
doesn't
was from
look
stream. Sorry,
on the surface uncomfortable, but anybody who's watching his actions, he has barely moved from his seat, while the others have been schmoozing, more or less. Even Ben. Joe, he's actually kind of been watching a lot and listening, but people who have approached him, anybody who's not been deterred by the air of studious interest in his food, it has expressed kind of like curiosity about, well, what are those people out there doing? Eventually he's going to stand up and he's going to go over to Mercy and anybody who's standing with Mercy.
Okay, on the way there, the representative from Harvard steps in front of you. Joaquin.
Hello. Long...
Or, my apologies, Twilight.
Joe kind of gives a small quirk of the corner of his mouth smile. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the invitation. It was very kind of you. I must ask, why did you invite us here? It wasn't to make a donation to the school, was it?
Joe says, my personal means have not increased greatly. I intend to donate when I can. However, I invited you because, well, my alma maters matter to me.
I understand. Is there something you wanted from us?
No, it's... He looks around at all of the people and all of the clout gathered in this room. It's more that I didn't want anyone to be left out.
He nods and says, I hope you understand that we have to be a little more... he looks around at a group of politicians all talking to each other and smiling a little too widely. We have to be more careful than others do with our reputation. So while we do trust that you have the best interests of everyone you meet at heart, it will take some time for us to decide to support you publicly.
Joe nods, and his smile grows, if anything, a little more than it usually reaches. And he says, I counted on it. It's good to know that this cult of personality we have doesn't necessarily affect everyone.
He nods. I have to ask on that note, what is your feelings on the people who literally deify you? Surely you don't think you're some sort of god.
Joe shakes his head. Whatever I am still human. I made a mistake I made a mistake that I could identify last week, and no doubt more that I can't identify.
He nods.
with this power, I must be careful that my mistakes don't have global repercussions. That's why I wanted to make sure the invitation was there. But
He nods and says, "Well, I'm happy to hear that. I am sure that the university will be happy to hear that as well. Thank you for the invitation." And he holds his
Joe
hand out.
nods and he says, "The invitations from me don't carry demands. If there are demands of anyone, they will hear it plainly."
He nods and says, "Very good." And he sticks his hand out for a shake.
Shakes his hand.
Okay. And then he says, "Well, I should let you get back to what you're doing."
Thank you. And Joe's kind of like the smile fades, and there's a little bit of a quirk of his eyebrows as though he's a little bit concerned, and he hurries to Mercy's side.
Okay. What is Darius up to?
I'm honestly probably just off chatting with whatever random people are actually here. I don't know what the guest list actually looks like out of character.
You could basically insert any important person you want in here. You guys have done an amazing job getting this together. If you don't want to talk to important people, there's also a host of staff running around to and fro trying to make sure everyone's happy.
And hit on Scarlett Johansson or her stand-in.
I would really, really not want to roleplay that, so please don't. But, yeah, basically anyone.
Yeah, he's probably off just... He's likely, like, having a half conversation with some random person that doesn't actually mean all that much, and then listening in on all of the other conversations to see if anything important gets brought up.
Okay, you're speaking to a server who's utterly engrossed that they get to talk to someone so close to Zenith, and they have looked like they wanted to leave a couple times to go back to work, but another server, probably their manager, keeps like shaking their head and just being like, continue.
Continue entertaining them.
Yeah, your job just changed. Anyway, so they're asking a lot of questions like, what is Zenith like? Where did you guys meet? What do you do for the Do Better campaign? That sort of thing. All of which you're handling adeptly while only half paying attention.
Alrighty.
As you look around, you see that there are certain webs of people that are here. So there's the politicians. There's kind of cliques. They're not like cliques in a school or anything like that. They're nothing so serious. But there's different people who seem to like to associate together. So there's the politicians, there's the businessmen, both of which tend to be pretty incestuous. They go back and forth with each other all the time. There's of course the people who got invited. A lot of the people who were just kind of like one-offs or kind of won their way in are hanging out together. So, for example, Agent Donaghy is talking with Ben's brother, and he seems to bounce around between kind of the people who don't fit in either. There's a lot of people who don't really fit into any one group, who are kind of floating around and just sampling conversation here and there. Yeah, there's a group of teenagers who look very out of place.
All right. Yeah, I'm primarily going to be listening for anyone who is trying to... who seems like they have some form of other reason to gain good faith with us. Like if I ever hear a conversation with like two politicians of they want us to do something, that's something that I want to be keeping my ear out for.
There's tons of it. Lots. They want... yeah, of course. That's what they're here for. There's a ton of politicians who want to see if they can get your support for their campaign. They want to get some donations. There's tons of... I mean, it's a massive high society banquet. Take your pick. There's literal drug dealers working openly here.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
What?
You didn't invite them, but they're here. They've come along with certain people as staff.
How did they get in?
They were invited by people who paid for their plate.
What's James up to right now?
That's a very good question.
Glad handing upper crusts before he goes to take Abigail onto the dance floor.
Okay. As soon as you kind of get away from the others and you take Abigail towards the dance floor, she says, I hope the exalted thing made you a better dancer.
It has not.
Oh, good. I can't wait to see the TikToks on this one.
Actually, Abs, is there anyone here that you want to ask any questions? Because
She looks around and says, no, none of these people are interesting in the slightest. Who's that guy? And she points to the Prime Minister.
why don't we go find out?
Because if I get within 10 feet of him, he's going to immediately turn into a cardboard cutout of himself and run away.
Well, I'm just saying, finding the truth
Chad,
is a
you
little
get
easier. For
pattern
me,
spiders.
and
Fucking.
I can tell if they're lying.
She nods and says, sure, or I can watch you dance.
Okay. I'll start heading that way, but I think Darius is gonna catch my eye.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I'm going to approach and say, when you're done with your dance, and I'm saying it relatively quietly in his ear, there's some business going on that we probably will want to attend to.
Alright. Start figuring out who's who, and maybe grab a couple of the higher-ups from the RCMP, and let's see if we can make some news.
I nod, and I'll just start keeping track of who is dealing drugs.
Okay, so there's 3 guys walking around, and they're smiling and laughing with everyone else. The people that they're talking to, either some of them take something from the guys. There's never money placed in the dealer's hands. They just are given small, discreet packages. But the people who talk to them seem to recognize them, like they've talked to them before.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're not approaching anyone. Like they're not going anywhere near the kids. They're just approaching people they seem to recognize. So it's pretty clear that what you're seeing is basically a ring.
I'm gonna note. Do I know the names of the people who they're dealing to? Like, are they noticeable people?
Yeah,
like
mostly politicians. Quite a few business leaders. That sort of thing.
I'm going to sit at a table and I'm going to start noting down names of the politicians and businessmen that I recognize.
Okay.
As well as, if possible, try to grab a photo or two.
Hey, pattern spiders, what's a good
And
Canadian
then after
brand?
that, I will go and grab our CMP. I imagine that'll take a few
Okay.
minutes, though.
Yep, you note down the names, and we're gonna cut over. Who haven't I called on in a while?
I do have one big thing.
Okay, sure.
So, when
I need a good Canadian
James
brand.
and Abigail hit the floor, he's gonna motion to the band or whoever's DJing and kind of give a nod.
Okay.
And
So the band is fronted by Dime Hip.
Dime Hip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good Canadian band Dime Hip. Gotcha.
Yeah, you get it.
So, something a little slower will start to play. And James is like, while they're dancing, Abby, I think it's time that I made my my public reveal.
She says, "All right, but in like 5 minutes, okay?"
Yeah, sure. No problem.
You're a fucker.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, this is
Yeah,
the place
well.
to do it.
How you guys have been dating for about a month, right?
Yeah.
Things have been getting pretty serious, I'm guessing.
I mean, we've been friends for like 10 years before that, so we've got a lot to build on.
Okay. She's like, you know, if you weren't worth the headache, and she looks at you and then squeezes.
Ooh.
Still, 5 more minutes.
Of
That's
course.
a big step. I really wish we'd have talked about this.
Well,
Look at this graph.
let's make it 10 and continues.
Okay. So,
To
uh,
Joe?
who approaches Mercy?
Joe.
Okay, so you see Mercy talking with the young leaders group, and specifically a younger girl by the name of. Let me just bring. Not a name generator. Don't worry about it. Nora. Her name is Nora. Who apparently has been helping with the charity, among other things.
Mercy. Hello.
Nora is not
My
a throwaway
apologies
character,
for interrupting.
Chad.
He kind of like nods
Nora
at
has
the,
a last name
the
and
teenager.
was written at the start of this campaign.
Would you have called Mercy by name or by?
Oh no, sorry, by Zenith. OOC issue. So Zenith.
Yes.
Hello. My apologies for interrupting. Several of the a number of people are concerned about the crowds outside, and I was thinking I would excuse myself for a little bit, try and see what the situation is, if it's worth concern. Is there time before our next speech?
I do believe so. I mean, I did want to dance with at least every member of the circle, so you know, publicity and stuff.
Well, perhaps we should get that over with. I'm growing concerned. The groups are, the children, as they call themselves, are more or less unified the closer they get to us, but many have come from far away to see this event. They can be erratic
Michael
at the
Madsen.
fringes.
Oh my god.
Feel free. If you need to go, then you need to go.
For the moment, shall we dance?
Of course.
Mama Poach.
Joe and Mercy head out onto the dance floor where James is presumably still dancing.
All right, you arrive there. While you're there, Darius starts approaching you guys. Darius, you note one of the politicians that had previously talked to a dealer went and danced with Mercy, and when they went back to their table, they were approached again and actually refused the dealer, who was very fucking confused.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna look at Mercy and say, "What did you say to that politician?" As they're I'm gonna walk with them to the dance floor, essentially,
Okay.
just to get a couple of words in before they get on the floor.
I mean, I simply reminded him what this charity was about. The chance to do better.
See.
Why?
Are you?
Complex
There
schedule, I think.
is some dealing that is occurring. However, I'm looking into getting it resolved in the next few minutes here.
All right.
We have police here for a reason. No violence or anything. Just everything by the book.
Do we have anything by way of proof? Do we know what is in the packages? It seems like Joe has noticed what's going on independently.
Yeah, if you look, you can see it.
Yeah. Socialize, yes.
James is gonna, as they're kind of swinging by, he'll dance towards the edge of the place. And, Darius, can you
Jesus,
point
I'm a
out
live
somebody
guy.
who just got, just received a package?
I'll point out the nearest politician that isn't.
Abigail steps on your foot.
Ow.
And starts dancing back towards the dance floor.
Is there anyone on the floor, on the dance floor? that
Abigail has successfully pulled you away from the group, unless you want to really resist her, and she did ask for 5 minutes,
That is true.
which you have not provided so far.
I mean, Joe's just gonna kind of like on the way over, whisper that to Darius. What do we have by way of proof? Is it just information packages?
I don't know what it is.
So now, Chad, I'm just running out the clock
That's
a little
not
bit
much to
before
go
we
on.
drop the hammer.
Perhaps
Do I know that
Is
it's
he
drugs?
ready for some reveals?
Actually? Like, is it obvious?
You don't. No, it's not obvious at all. They're quite subtle about it, actually. Like, they're not trying to hide it, but the fact that they're not trying to hide it makes them less suspicious because they look natural.
All right.
It could just be coded documents, for all we know.
It is small packages that fit in a palm.
Okay, so it is definitely. It would definitely be
Almost
easily
certainly.
assumable.
Hello, synthetic. I'm
Plausible
about to
deniability.
flip the fucking table on my players.
I can just have one of.
Perhaps an investigation outside of this gala. If we cause a stink, it will just look bad for us. They will show us pieces of paper with uninteresting messages.
Look to Mercy, see if that's what she wants to do.
Okay.
It's your gala.
I trust you on this. You do what needs to be.
Jiangxi?
Darius,
Why would I need
I
a
will need to
jumping
see that book
ghost?
of names, and we will do something about this.
Come to me once you're done your dance, and we can look at this.
Aye.
Is that a Jiangxi?
After you and Mercy,
Hmm.
after, and then Joe like finally arrives at the dance floor and heads to the dance.
Yep, I was right.
Does the dancing.
Ben walks over to Darius. Hey Darius,
I'm not
you
a
want to
Jiangxi.
dance?
I'm not one for dancing, thank you though, Ben.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
me
not.
neither.
I'm not a vampire. It says so on the channel. Look, it says so right over there.
So what's going on?
Sorry, did you say you were headed outside, Joaquin? I was talking to the spiders a little bit. Long silence. I'm guessing he went away for a moment.
Mhm.
Oh.
Oh, nope. I heard a little something.
He did say that he was just gonna have the dance with Mercy and then go outside.
Okay, great. Are you
Oh, hi.
there?
Yes.
Cool. So on the way out, you bump into someone in the hallway.
All right.
Nadia.
Joe's like Joe's not one to emote in large ways, but his eyes do widen.
Okay.
Nadia.
She looks tired, like she's been very, very, very busy or something. She's also dressed differently. Instead of her normal leather jacket, she's wearing what can only be described as robes, and she has kind of a wild look in her eye.
What happened?
She says, "Is everyone else here? Are you all here?
Yes.
Good. I need to talk to you right now. Is there somewhere we can talk?"
Joe's gonna look around for a side room.
There's tons. It's the Empress.
He's gonna like kind of like lead her over there without like he looks like he's like what in the heck is going on, but he's immediately treating her well-being as a priority. She doesn't look okay
She also feels very different.
in the sense of like there's an
Like
aura
she
to her.
has
Or...
essence,
Huh.
but not quite that. She doesn't feel like an exalt.
All right.
Have fun,
Spirit
synthetic.
detecting
Bye.
glance. That's
What
a
does that do
reflex-
exactly?
What it does is specifically it allows the exalt to detect immaterial beings of any stripe,
Okay.
as well as identifying anything that has spiritual, like a spirit in or
Okay.
is a
Nothing.
spirit. Okay, nothing. It's all he's developed so far. The difference
Mhm.
is like it's not an analyze that comes later. Okay, Joe, he's gonna lead her over to the side room. He's gonna open the door. Look in. Is it
Okay.
just like a
It's empty.
little?
There's.
Okay,
It's a sitting room that's empty.
I will bring the others. It's urgent. Yes.
She nods.
Stay
No, no,
here.
not really. No, no. I'm sorry. What is this? Where are we?
Where are we? We are in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Did you just re-enter reality?
No. Um. I don't. Uh. Could you get everyone?
Uh, yes. It will be difficult to have all of them here at the same time without someone noticing, but
She shakes her head. No, it isn't.
is that a no? It isn't too difficult to have everybody here.
Yeah. After your statement, she said, "No, it isn't."
No, what isn't?
Uh, Getting everyone here, it's not. It's not difficult. Uh, hmm. It'll work.
All right. I'll be right back. Give me
She nods.
10 minutes. Joe's going to head right back in, and he's actually going to do so. No,
Great.
not supernatural speed. He's going to head back in, and he's going to seek out James first.
You actually find everyone just finishing at the dance floor, all together.
Huh.
Ben
Joe-
and Dari's just watching.
They're kind of in a bubble with no one around.
Joe kind of like approaches them and says, "James, can someone run interference if we need to step out for a brief moment?"
Abigail looks up and says,
Okay, Abigail is in the bubble.
Yeah. People in the know are in the bubble."
Okay, Joe's gonna actually glance at Abigail as he says this, expecting that.
Okay. Abigail looks up and says, "Does that mean I have more than 10 minutes?"
I will give you all the time you want once this is sorted out.
She nods and says, "I'm getting a drink." And she walks away.
Aiden also speaks up. I can help too. Whatever you guys need.
I need the 5 of us, and he gives
He makes a circle
Zenith.
motion,
he makes a circle motion and looks specifically at the ones who are out, quote unquote.
bursts into sunlight in the middle of the room. Everyone becomes a convert. Massive
and-
global implications.
He's gonna just kind of gesture for everybody to follow, presumably at their own pace, because he's not like pulling them along.
Mm-hmm. So you guys managed to make a fairly easy exit. No one stops you to talk to you. Everyone seems to be busy doing their own thing, and no one really reacts to the fact that you're not in the room. You get a text from Abigail pretty much immediately as soon as you leave the room that says all clear.
Okay. Joe's going to lead everybody to that side room, saying, "It's Nadia. She's back."
Nadia?
As you walk in,
What?
Nadia is standing there, and she goes, "Good, you're all here. Close the door.
God,
Close the
you're
door."
okay.
I close the
Yes.
door.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm fine. You didn't. It's fine. Just I have a lot to talk about.
Okay. Mercy seems like genuinely like, I'm so sorry.
Like I thought I killed you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys come in and close the door, and she says, "So, I didn't think I would get this far. Do you guys know what's happening to me?"
No.
No.
And she looks shocked. But
But we'll
I
do our best to
thought
help.
you would.
Joe, kind of like
When you did the thing that you did, Where did you go?
We didn't go
We were-
anywhere.
We were still standing exactly where we were. You disappeared from our
Yes.
perspective. Are you saying this is some kind of
No,
our
no, no,
powers?
no, no, not in the tomb, not in the tomb. When you became the things that you are, where did you go?
We didn't. The unconquered sun spoke to me, and that's it.
What did the sun look like?
I don't
I
remember
don't-
seeing a
okay.
sun.
It happened to me at night.
Jordan, he never actually appeared in front of
No,
me,
he did
It
not.
was just a voice.
You simply heard his voice and understood who he was.
Blah.
Okay, but did it sound like it was in 1,000 different voices at the same time?
No, it was just the one voice.
There was no music?
No?
She sits down heavily in a chair. Shit.
Are
Interesting.
you something like us?
I don't think so. I'm sorry. It's been a long couple weeks.
Couple of weeks. It's been a month. Has
Y-
something
yeah.
happened?
I don't know how long I was gone for, but when I came back, I got here. The door, and she points to a door that is a closet, and she says, this is hard to explain. The door is connected to another door.
I
Ben
go
goes
and
and
open
opens the
the
door.
Cool. It's a closet. Inside are cleaning supplies.
Interesting. I mean, I'm
She
not
says,
saying
no, I'm not crazy. And she runs over, closes the door, and opens it, and you can see a bustling street that is sunlit on the other side.
fascinating.
The actual fuck.
You need to
Okay,
teach me how to do that.
Joe is going to like stare at this, and I'm gonna may I make an intelligence and lore roll or something, some kind of roll to
That'd be an intelligence
out-
and occult roll.
I would also-
into an occult, making that happen.
No, she's actually opened a door to Greece.
Because Joe's just like, wow, the only other supernatural thing that wasn't done deliberately by us that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, where's the
It's
finding
because the door was
the place
built
to
by a
roll the
specific
dice.
craftsman
I'm
that
gonna
also
put
built
6
a door
motes
in Greece.
into rolling this as well because I want to know about this.
I
Okay.
am I'm putting it's a cult, right? 7 motes of personal essence into
Okay.
this roll. As soon as I find that's where it is. And I'm making sure that this is the correct number of dice. I do have a cult 2. Joe's eyes glint with something that is almost the flow of intelligence, as
actually.
though it were something that could be detected upon the surface of his eyes, were that possible. As instinctually, his mind works faster and faster,
Lore of paths.
powered by the imperishable essence of the unconquered sun.
Sure, you can have a stunt.
And that's a. How are we doing stunts in this one?
I will tell you if you get 1, 2, or 3.
Okay. And that's one.
1.
One die. All right, makes sense. And as he looks through this portal, greater than 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes.
There's got to be a way to make it count tens as 2. But anyway.
I know.
Okay, great. So the two of you can see that the portal isn't actually in the doorway, it's the door. The door is connected to whatever the other door is elsewhere in a way that makes perfect sense when you look at it, but also the mortal brain in your head is screaming. It's like the essence has been shaped by the same thing in 2 places.
It's as though the patterns match, like a cosmic game of Go Fish.
She nods and then shakes her head and says, "No. The door has its own. I wish I could just show you. It's It's a pair. The two doors were built as a pair, and because of that, the law of contamination states that they are the same door.
Law of
I think I
contamination.
understand, and I shouldn't.
It's
How did you make it reappear?
I didn't. I just showed you. It's always here. You can always go in. No one will ever use this closet.
Hmm.
Very fascinating.
It's aspected to not be found.
Hmm.
But
And
we found
sits
it,
down.
or you did.
It's how I came here. I knew you were through here, so we're in Canada?
Yeah.
Why did you come back then?
I thought you would understand. I thought you
So-
sent me there. I went to a
No.
place that was bright and there were things that had eyes and wings and it was very loud and there was a tower. I remember the tower.
Joe, like at the moment she says that, Joe's kind of hand goes to a tiny little crucifix that's like it's not just hanging around his neck. It's actually just kind of like on his like the inside of his lapel, as though
Okay.
he's hiding it. And he
Okay.
just like, and then he like pulls his hand away as though he's like self-conscious. And
Okay.
he says, "Eyes and wings, you say?
Yeah. Yeah, like
Heaven."
no, but close. Close. I think. You've been there?
No, I have just read about it. And then he's gonna quote a brief little passage about the seraphim.
Okay, and she goes, sometimes, but I think that was just because that's what like I was trying to read the wrong format with my brain. They aren't really shapes at all.
It's just
they're
how
forces.
you interpreted them.
They're forces. And they represent something. They represent the idea of power and reality. And she kind of zones out for a minute.
So is the door still open?
Yeah, there
There's still a
are
street.
people literally walking past it, not noticing it at all.
Is this does it look like an otherworldly place? Does it look anything like what she's describing, or is it just another place on Earth?
No, you can see an Audi.
Oh, okay, it's Earth. Can I estimate where on Earth it is?
I
Based
mean,
on...
it's bright and warm, and you can hear Greek being spoken on the other side.
Okay.
Jordan,
Yo.
I'd like to try and do a social influence on her.
Sure.
I'd like to try and instill the intimacy working with the circle.
Kinda not needed. She already trusts you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, you would know that. Like, apparently you were the first people she came to.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. You could, if you would like, instill that particular intimacy, but it would be kind of redundant.
Okay. Could I strengthen it?
You could, yeah. Yeah, she's particularly vulnerable right now, so it'd be really easy to do.
Okay.
Go ahead. And while you roll that, she sits down and she says, I think there's lots of others like me. People have been following me.
Following you.
Good people.
She nods. Yeah. Not like in a car or anything. They just seem to know where I am.
That's 12 successes.
Yeah, the intimacy is very much strengthened. It's pretty important to her now. I would call it a major.
So he'll put his hand on her shoulder and go, look, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna help you. We're gonna do everything in our power to, make this right. And he's also gonna hand her his flask if
Okay.
do you want a drink?
She drinks the entire flask in one gulp.
Well, that was 75-year-old Glenn McKellen, but okay.
She says, sorry, I
No,
can't.
worth it.
remember the last time I had something to drink. She
It's
sits.
okay.
She sits back in the chair and kind of relaxes a little, and she goes, "Yeah, and I think I'm seeing things that might happen.
Interesting.
I
How
don't
do you
like the
like-
way you say interesting.
I'm sorry. It's just this is as new to you as it is to us.
Joe kind of sits down on a little bench opposite her and says, "This is the first thing this is the first supernatural occurrence we have been able to find that doesn't come from us.
She nods
Whatever."
and says, I think there's lots of things like this. I can kind of smell it. No, sense. It's not smell. It's something else. But there's a lot of that.
We should table this for now. Finish our night and then
Yes, you have a meeting.
yeah. But
Wait, we have a meeting?
You don't have a meeting?
Did you guys plan a meeting?
There is a large party.
it's a gala dinner.
She nods and
For-
says, "No, sorry. I thought you had a meeting."
Joe looks to the others. She said she can see things that might happen. Perhaps we have a meeting we don't know about.
She stands up and says, "I'm sorry."
It's okay.
No, no, it's
Nadia?
fine.
And if you have any other of these things that you think are happening, please tell
Everyone's
us.
phone goes off at exactly the same moment.
Oh,
Nadia, we have a guest room. Do you want to come stay with us?
Please.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I can't find my apartment.
We'll take care of you. Don't worry about it.
God, I have to worry about immigration, don't I?
We'll also take care of that.
Okay.
James is very swift with paperwork.
What have you guys been doing?
Better.
Joe's
she
gonna-
like looks at you a little weird, like she's still very much out of her sorts.
Joe's gonna actually sit down, kind of gesture for the others to go back to the party, and he's gonna give her a rundown on the ways that the world has changed in the last month, as well as
Okay.
very basics. These are the major things we've done.
Okay.
Including go public.
exactly 1 minute later, your phones all go off simultaneously.
Like
Uh,
phone call or like
Ben's
text
checking his
messages?
phone.
So when you check your phone, you have an appointment scheduled in your calendar app. You did not previously make this appointment, and it says ceaseless perfection of industry.
Huh.
Oh boy.
When you check your message, there's a knock at the door.
Okay.
Mercy puts herself between whatever is on the other side of the door and Nadia.
Okay.
James closes the closet to wherever.
The Narnia door. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ben walks up to the door and
Sorry. But even better, it's the closet to Audi Narnia.
Audi. Narnia with Audis.
Audi Narnia Greece. Yeah.
Okay.
all right, Ben's going to approach the door, and when everyone's ready, he's just going to open it a little and see who's on the other side.
Okay.
Can I help you?
So on the other side of the door is a 10-foot tall golden metal man.
Well, you're a big boy, aren't you?
He says, "Yes. May I enter?"
Joe kind of stands up from where he had sat, and
Closes
he
the
said,
door.
I thought you were
You-
being sarcastic.
and Joe says, "You must be ceaseless perfection of industry."
The door was closed by Ben.
Oh,
Ben goes, 1 moment. Close the door. Mercy. There's someone bigger than me on the other side of the door, and he wants to come in. He's made of
That's fine,
gold.
I'm armed.
oh, I see. We haven't
Opens
seen
it-
him, have we?
No, Ben
Oh,
saw
never
him.
mind.
Ben's seen
Great.
him.
Amazing.
Ben saw him. And Ben
Mer-
went, "Oh, what?"
Mercy's
Alright, Ben opens the door a little bit and goes, "You're gonna be peaceful, right?"
He says, "Yes."
Alright. And he kind of opens the
Cool.
door.
As soon as you open the door and invite him in, the door expands, and he walks in like it was a normal door, and then it retracts back to its normal size.
Oh, like Putty World.
Pretty much. Literally just grows to accommodate him. He says, "Good, you are all here. And this one." And he looks at Nadia and says, "What is this one?"
Joe kind of glances around at the others. We don't know, but he looks down at his phone briefly. You must be ceaseless perfection of industry.
Yes. I need you to come with me.
Joe looks alarmed.
The Great Maker has requested your presence to explain something happening on this world. The Solars are required.
The what?
The Solar Exaltations. Your circle. He points to the 5 of you without missing a beat.
James pulls his phone up and takes a picture of him.
Cool. When you do that, your phone, when you open your camera app, the phone faces you and you get a text saying, "Please don't."
What's the number?
Uh,
Is it just a random string of numbers?
no, the number is Ceaseless Perfection of Industry.
Okay. It's already got call display.
No.
a
The
contact.
phone number is Ceaseless Perfection of Industry.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Okay, so just to be clear, we're meeting right now, and we need to leave right now.
It is crucial, yes.
Ooh, we kind of got a party going on.
He says,
Joe just kind of like slips his he slips his car keys, his door key, and a little piece of paper that he quickly scrawls their address on to Nadia. He's not trusting that she's not going to be left here.
"Okay."
Sorry.
You hand over the objects. Ceaseless Perfection of Industry looks at them and says, "Fascinating.
Darius, this better
That
have
key
absolutely
is
nothing to do with
remote."
whatever you did in Japan.
I can guarantee you, if I'd seen a 10-foot tall metal man while I was in Japan, you all would have immediately gotten a text message.
Good.
Do you
I'm
mind
glad.
if we call you Ceaseless? Is that okay?
I prefer Cece.
Cece. Are we going to be coming back here after this meeting, and how long is this going to take?
I do not know, and I do not know. The Great Maker is not... He pauses for a moment. His face doesn't move much, but it actually emotes like he was, made of flesh.
Mm-hmm.
He is not precise in his timings. For
I
example,
gotta-
this meeting is a month overdue.
Great Maker.
Yes.
Are you some
Okay.
kind of celestial or something?
No, I am alchemical.
I'm gonna
Do
text
you
Dab.
not understand what is happening here? You don't know who I am, you don't know what you are, and you don't know the Great Maker.
That's
No.
correct.
Your education is lacking. The Great Maker is Autocathon, designer of the soul and architect of the exaltation. I am an alchemical exalt, sworn to the service of the Great Maker and the people of my Petropolis. You are solar exalts, created by the Great Maker and the Unconquered Sun to lead and rule creation. He looks at Nadia, unknown.
I'm gonna text Abigail and say, shit is going down in a weird way. We might disappear. I am so sorry. I promise I will be back as soon as I can.
The lever, Lavana. You get a text back saying, "It's like I married a cop." And then you immediately lose service. Instead of a little ring with crossed out, though, it's Ceaseless Perfection of Industry's face. In, perfect detail.
Cece, I
Got-
think you and I are gonna be great friends.
Yes. We must leave.
I'm starting
Well-
to think we don't really have much of a choice.
Far be it from me to...
He says, you do. You may refuse this meeting. However, given your state, I highly recommend you take it.
Our state?
You are uneducated, and you are in over your head.
Hell,
Joe
if you're
kind
gonna
of, like-
educate us, I'm coming.
Alright.
Joe looks briefly offended and then sighs and he says, I suppose this, I suppose you know more than we do.
Yes.
Lead
It is
on.
believed that the Maker may have lost some things on your world. He will
One
explain.
second. Nadia isn't being brought with us, right?
He looks at
Where
Nadia and
is she?
says, do you wish to come? Nadia nods.
Alright, that solves issues. Okay.
Do you all
I-
agree to come with me?
Joe steps forward. Yes.
Nadia.
I am always up for being educated.
Yes.
Sure.
All right, let's go, you giant Oscar statue.
He says, I am not a statue, but I will accept this is teasing. He looks
Good.
to you, Mercy, and says, Zenith.
Yes, I agree.
Good. Initiating transport. One of his leg plates pops off, and a thin metal rod comes out. He grabs it with one hand, puts it on the ground. It stands up perfectly straight up and down without balancing or anything of the sort. He then grabs the side of it, pulls it open, and like a curtain, a portal appears. On the other side, you can see a grand city wreathed in gold and silver and metal and smoke and trees and everything you would expect in a city, all mashed together in one huge, unending, no horizon ass having cityscape. And he says, please, join me upon Autocathon. And that's where we'll end it.
Bryce will be the first through.
That's where we'll end it.
All right, everybody, we're going to Coruscant.
But
the
with a
fuck?
personality.
Yes.
Does not compute.
All right, guys. How's everyone feeling?
What
I
the
feel
fuck?
amazing. We're going to Autochthonia. Going to Autochthon, technically, but Autochthonia is the place.
I mean, it's the place and the guy. It's kind of neither here nor there. So
Actually, it's both here and there.
no, it's very specifically in one place. And for you exalted heads at home, the fact that you're going to actually be on Autochthon is probably a weird thing.
It's great. I'm down.
So who had this on their bingo card?
Is Nadia sidereal?
I'm not answering any fucking questions. What are you talking about?
But yes. No.
Honestly, Scald, that is the one question that you can never get a reliable answer to. Why would you even ask?
Actually, you wouldn't know to ask the question because sidereals don't exist, and the minute you find out they do, you forget that they do.
That's correct.
They destroyed the mask. Anyway, the pattern spiders are complaining that they can't get any reception. Instead, they just see the Oscar dude's face. So we should probably get going.
Amazing.
Oh god. Well, guys, welcome to the end of Act 1. Congratulations.
Amazing reveal. Amazing reveal.
I love how completely out of your depth you were the entire time, and then all of a sudden fucking everything comes crashing down. Like,
it.
obviously you guys expected something to happen. This is an Exalted game. It would be pretty weird if I just, like, made you solve world problems, and then we're like, well, we fixed the world.
Well, we're in a sandbox.
I mean, that could be a fun thought experiment.
I mean,
Not so
honestly,
entertaining
that's,
a game.
Well, that's where I was gonna go with that until you threw something like this at us.
So, hey, Aki. Hello?
Yes?
Do you still think you're playing the old campaign?
No.
God. I'm really happy. I think I very successfully hid what was going on from you guys while dropping just enough hints to keep you questioning. I think I handled Act 1 pretty well, personally.
Gotta hand it to you.
There were,
You never
for the
got
record,
around to dealing with the drug dealers, though.
yeah, I decided that was going to be a boring storyline, so I decided to drop my thing in, and it was kind of perfect timing, actually.
Mhm. Later, we'll just set the the final word, a bunch of other like media and investigators on this set of names, and the trail will happen because we're exalts. That will not be the primary plot line.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fairly minor plot. Do you see now why I don't really particularly care what kind of temporal power you guys have?
Yeah.
You're about to go on to a city that's apparently a guy.
Let's do the
All right, so it is the end of the act. This is the end of Act 1. I have introduced several characters that are very, very important, not all of which I introduced tonight. One of the characters I've introduced over this the entirety of Act 1 is actually critical to the end of this story. Like, straight up, this story is basically about that character.
Oh, good.
I'm guessing that's Nadia, so she was just reintroduced.
Good guess, good guess. Yeah.
Totally right.
As part of Wild Mass Guessing, I 100% confirm that. I'm in a really good mood. This is going great. All right, it's the end of the act.
Can we do
Yeah.
our vote and our wild mass guessing at the same time? Because it's 2026.
Yeah, sure. First things first, it's the end of the act, so everyone can have 4 regular and 4 solar XP. Congratulations. Nice. Holy shit. No, Pattern Spiders, it was not Trudeau. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone gets a free XP from the Spitters. Thank you, Pattern Spiders. That's a free full XP. It's the end of the night. We're going to do our votes. So I will get a poll going. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. So, at the end of the night, as always, the players get to vote for who their favorite player of the night was. They can use any reason. Whoever can eat the most Taco Bell is a valid reason. This stream is not sponsored. And the Powering Spiders also get to pick their best friend of the night. So I will set up the poll for that. Okay, we're gonna start. We're gonna combine this and Wild Mass Guessing about what's going on in the story, and I'm gonna go use Discord because I'm looking at that screen. Aki, you're first.
So my vote of the night goes to, as much as I would like to give it to Abigail, my vote goes to James.
Okay.
By extension, for Abigail.
Uh-huh.
Because the maybe 10 minutes thing was just very sweet, very wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
Wild Mass Guessing is somebody pick up the phone because I fucking called it.
What did you call?
No, I'm not telling you.
So you're just claiming victory with no evidence.
Yes.
Cool.
That's my wild.
I know
Mass
what she's
Guessing,
talking
and you
about.
can neither confirm nor deny that I'm right.
Can you fill me in, please?
I can fill
Nope.
something in.
Aki, please.
I guess that Nadia was a sidereal.
Oh, okay. And you're still guessing that? Cool. I'm glad because I 100% confirm Nadia is a sidereal.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Let's go on now to Sam. Sam?
Hi.
Vote
All right,
Wild
Wild Mass Guessing. All right. So autochthonia is a thing, as is reality, but creation is not. I speculate that Nadia somehow reached creation.
Okay.
Or there's something else that's like adjacent to our world, and that's wild.
Okay.
So there's an alternate dimension that's very important to this story.
All right. Yeah, cool. Good guess. Yes, this alternate dimension is the character that I mentioned that's critical to the end of the story. 100% confirmed.
I mean, other than autochthon. Autochthon.
Actually, who are you gonna vote for?
I think for me it's gonna be Darius,
Okay.
because he was like, rather than party, I'm going to literally just work.
Just do good.
I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't stop just because it was a nice place. I kind of got the strong Eclipse vibes from that.
Okay.
He is the
cool.
Eclipse of the circle, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Scald. Hallowed be his name.
Wild mass guessing. What was it? Autochthon?
Autochthon or autochthon? Yeah.
Absolutely
Autobot.
going to be. Oscar is totally going to be James's best friend from now on. We're gonna have so many adventures, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oscar Man, otherwise known as Ceaseless Perfection of Industry.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote for Ben for achieving his goal of being a wallflower.
Okay.
Nice.
Sue Crown.
I think I'm gonna vote for for James. Just because I really enjoyed the inter-role play between him and I, as well as his new significant other.
Abigail is a crowd favorite. I will take those free XPs. Okay, great. And wild mass guessing, buddy. What's happening?
We're all gonna die.
100% confirmed. You all die.
Something here.
Good campaign, guys. Wrap it up.
We're
Rip.
getting educated for something that's happening on the world, and it's gonna be some cataclysmic event that we're gonna die to.
All right. Very cool. Yeah, that's 100% confirmed.
We're gonna die saving the world, though.
All right. So, if you guys could put your votes in the Roll20 chat, I'd appreciate it. And also, which?
All right. I kinda. You know what? I think I'm gonna give it to James for his adorable interactions with this lovely lady.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly the point goes to her for stepping on his foot.
Mm-hmm.
And wild guessing, we're gonna be sent on a wild treasure hunt around the world to gather things that got lost. And in the end, it's gonna summon Cthulhu, and the world's gonna end.
All right. Very cool. I can't wait for you to find Cthulhu's 10 butt cheeks, and so that you can summon him.
Slap all of butt cheeks.
Guys, thank you for suffering through months of me saying you don't find anything weird, despite the fact that there was there was one moment where you almost found something very weird, for the record. I'll tell you about it at the end of the campaign. But in Act 1, there was a moment I thought that my cover was blown and I'd have to do Act 2 quicker. So, someone remind me of that later.
Neat.
Never.
Then I don't care.
I'll want to know.
Yeah. It's kind of perfect because it's a thing that that almost got revealed, but it was actually saved by you guys.
It was Paul. It had
Excellent.
to be Paul.
Was it Paul? Okay, cool. Anyway, guys, this has been a good Act 1. Act 2 is going to be probably where the meat and potatoes of the campaign are. So, yeah, I can't wait to play more Exalted with you. Can't wait for you to meet all of the other Exalted people and go on your Exalted adventures where you fight, I don't know, fucking demons or some shit. What do Exalts do? Politics, right?
I'm gonna wildly guess there's no blue booking.
Okay, you guys can have 12 microseconds of blue booking.
The amount of time it takes to go through the portal.
Yeah, the amount of time it takes to walk through a doorway. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Damn.
you had a
What's
week.
Ben supposed to write in his diary now?
I gave you guys a month for a reason. Because I wanted you to see the results of the work that you'd put in, and also because I knew there wouldn't be shit this week.
Well, you had a good week.
I guess I did. Is getting confirmation not enough to prevent me from being insulted?
Nope.
Fair enough.
I can neither confirm nor deny that,
Uh-huh. The
and
minute
I
this,
can say nothing else on the issue.
the moment
because
the
I
stream
promised this
closes,
week.
I'm
No,
gonna
I'll speak
get
for them.
roasted
No.
by Aki.
The
Anyway,
second stream
Who won?
start, you're gonna say hello, mortals, and I'm gonna fucking roast you over a goddamn open fire like a fucking chestnut.
I think that counts as an insult, Aki.
Nope.
Who won the votes?
So, the player vote was won by Yames. Congratulations there, Scald. You get a free extra solar XP. And the Patterned Spider's best friend for tonight was Ben. Although it was actually kind of close. There was a few votes for everyone, but Ben did win. Congratulations, Ben. You get a full, or Witch, you get a full free XP.
Yay.
And you are also the Patterned Spider's best friend for the night,
Yay.
which is arguably the more important thing.
Definitely. Ben is the spider friend.
One of the main reasons quoted at me several times now, incessantly, like they want me to read it out, is that
Yep.
Specifically it's because you closed the door in Cecil's Perfection of Industry's face. Giant
No,
golden robot
someone
man is
being
at the door
taller than
saying,
him,
"Can I
okay?"
come in?" And you're just like, "No, wooden door."
1 second. This guy's like, what, 4 feet taller than Ben?
He's
Who is
literally
used
10
to
feet tall. Yeah.
towering over everyone else?
He's exactly
fucking
10 feet tall. No less.
terrifying.
Anyway, that was a fun session, guys.
GG.
I was looking forward to this one all day, and I'm trying to get details so I can fill out the start of it. And you guys are like, Instead, I'm going to talk about how me and Mercy banged.
What are
Anyway.
you
Allegedly.
talking about? Nothing happened.
Sure it didn't,
Allegedly.
Ben. Allegedly. The whole neighborhood got noise complaints, but alright.
Allegedly.
Blue Book
Anyway.
thread is up.
I will be back, Pattern Spiders, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're probably finishing or getting close to finishing Hearts of Stone. Should be a good time. Poor Jerry has almost been... Last time Jerry almost had Lady forced on him. It was very uncomfortable. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Thank you, Exalts, for playing with me. I really can't thank you guys enough for sticking with me this whole time.
And thank you for the fun story.
Yes, thank you for running a world.
Yeah,
You're welcome,
it's
Jordan, my friend.
it's easy to run the world. I literally just copy pasted the one that we live in. Anyway,
And then you had to create a bunch of characters.
like a ton of them. There's so many characters in this fucking tabletop. Like, I'm literally writing 3 or 4 new characters a session. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
Hey,
this has
you're
been a
very
great
smart.
time. I've enjoyed this a lot. I can't wait to start Act 2 next week. And until then, I'm gonna say that we're gonna go Bibbles?
Bibbles.
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 Bye.
Bitch!